Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches, Christy's Beautiful Life. And today is day 8. Today's sketch is by Karen Doloff, and she is at Caddis Scrapbooking. So you can find her link down below. There will also be a playlist down below for everyone playing along with this series. This is the 18th time that Christy has put this series together. And it's a great way to jumpstart your creativity. So, I am back again today with another page from the gift album that I'm working on for my niece. So, today I actually added a flap onto the 6 by 8 1/4 size page. So, there you can see that I created a hinge, and there is my page where I'm going to work on creating this layout. So the sketch is basically going to be represented in the part of the page that is on the left side. So the big part, the 8 1/4 by 6 size of the page. The flap is just kind of on my own and added on. And so here she had in the sketch, there are words up above that top photo and then all the title. And so I had recently purchased a stamp set that is an exclusive from my local scrapbook store that they actually designed it, and it was basically a congratulations slash graduation type of stamp set with different sentiments. And so, since I don't stamp very often, that I used one of the scrap pieces of paper from the creating the base pages of the album, that I was practicing the stamps, making sure how they stamp, what they look like, the spacing, things of that nature on that first part there. And so I realized that yes, the first time I stamped, I realized I forgot to use the static pouch there. And so once I used that yes, it turned out exactly how I had hoped to. So before I stamped on my actual background page, I did space out everything, and I lightly drew a line of where I thought the leaves and everything were going to go before I stamped and added my embossing powder, and now I am heat setting that. So here is my first area. This section isn't necessarily represented in the sketch, so now I'm working on the area or the side that is representing today's sketch. And so I'm adding 3 different stamp sets. One says "You're amazing," the next one says "Way to go," and then the third one says "High five." And so that represents the title and the journaling area noted on today's sketch. So here I get that stamped on and get that heat embossed. And I actually love how this turned out. It is so stark on that black, and the stamps stamped very nicely on there. So if you're interested, send me a message. I did have to clean up one little area that the static pouch obviously didn't work, and other than that, the stamp worked perfectly. So here now I'm starting to decorate my page now that I've got my title slash journaling on there. And this is a small frame from 49 and Market. I'm guessing that this one probably came from the, was it summer porch or front porch? It was it was something with a porch. And so I did tie some crochet thread through the tag hole there that's on there, and kind of looped it around, used my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and finished it off with a knot there, just kind of looped up and hanging upwards there. So, and now I am placing my pictures, and so they will look approximately the same as they do in the sketch. And there you can see I was just erasing the lines because I do end up placing my frame down a little bit lower than what I had originally anticipated. So that meant that I did need to trim up that bottom picture just a little bit, that I didn't need as much sky. So basically these pictures, I did print them smaller. They are documenting the photo series of Annie tossing up her graduation cap. And so I actually, how I captured this, that I tried two different ways. That I did a video and just took live pictures during the video. And then I also did a second version of it with just taking pictures of the hat going up in the air and coming back down. And honestly, I don't know which series of photos this is. I actually think this is just taking the pictures, and then the picture on the right hand side on the flap, I think that one was actually from a snapshot from the actual video, because the trees are different, that I moved her to a different angle so we could see the hat better in the sky. So this was actually a fun photo session to do, that she had a lot of good ideas, and we just kind of winged it as we went along with the backgrounds and things that we found along the way on campus. So she had some ideas of places, and she had a great eye of places to try out. So thank you, Annie, for asking me to take these pictures. It was a lot of fun. And I hope your twin sister, Allie, next year asks me to take pictures as well when she finishes up her degree. So, Allie, you've seen on here quite a bit as well, that she was a cheerleader at Iowa State. And so I've done several layouts of her adventures as well. And Annie was usually a participant of going to the game with me and my sister, her mom. And so you have seen her as well in a lot of my layouts throughout the years. So I've been scrapbooking them. They were my first subjects before my daughter came along. So I've been scrapbooking them for quite some time. So it's been fun. And I will keep scrapbooking them as they grow into adulthood, and maybe someday find a significant other and or just friends along the way. So all right, so on this other flap side, that you saw that I did add those red leaves and some tickets and those stars hanging down, and I do end up adding some butterflies throughout this page spread as well. So here I'm trying to make that picture fit within this pre-made frame, and I did use some washi tape to hold it down until I can glue the frame and the picture down all together. So here I'm just adding glue to the leaves and making them fit within the grooves of where I have my stamped words here, or stamped titles. And so now here I'm adding glue to the picture and the frame, and so that will hold everything down very completely, so it'll be on for good and hold, hopefully, for a very long time, as long as she enjoys the album. So there is another butterfly going on, just using my tweezers to hold down the middles. Since these are outside of pocket pages, I can do more dimensional items within these pages. So decided that this top area needed some embellishments, so I did use just some of those stamps, and using a piece of dimensional adhesive to add a die cut. I don't know if that is that a heart. Nope, it's a button. So I did add a button, and then one final red butterfly to complete my visual triangle there of the butterflies. So here are some close-up shots of my 2 pages here. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. Otherwise, if you wouldn't mind giving me a like and subscribe if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. And you can find my links to my Instagram as well as my Pinterest, where you can find these close-up images as well. And you will find the playlist for everybody playing along. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye.